On the program with me today is my friend Loren Goodrich from Houston Deck and Shade. Hey, Loren, how you doing?
I'm doing great today, Jim. Thanks for having me on.
It is great to have you here on the program. Hey, I wanted to talk about in this particular segment your why. What gets you and your team members out of bed every day to serve your customers?
Man, that's a good question. For me, Jim, I think that it's part of my being. I absolutely love getting up every day. I tell my wife all the time that, weekends are really hard for me sometimes because I'm not at work. And, I have to prioritize my work and my home life, but it's sometimes really hard for me to get through the weekend because I absolutely love Mondays. I go to work. I love meeting customers. I love meeting with my team. I love going out and shaking hands and, drawing decks and designing decks and meeting new people. That's really what I absolutely love. I love the business aspect too, and I love the finished product of the deck, but it's really just getting out there, meeting people, doing what I love to do, which is selling decks, designing decks, talking to people, and growing my business.
It's got to be really satisfying when you sit down with a customer to begin with, and at the end have that final product. So it's just going to be an idea. They're going to tell you what they want. You know a lot about the design and the build. And then a couple months later or less, they have a beautiful finished product. And it's got to be so satisfying for you.
It is, especially when you you go into a project where maybe you have an old deck or you don't have anything and your backyard is totally useless. And then, one of the parts of my job that I really enjoy is I like to meet someone, and then I like to meet their spouse. And then we get into the function of the project and we get into all the things you want to do in your backyard. That's what really makes the project just really glow, is when you solve the architectural issues along with the functionality. Because if you can marry those two together and you can please the wife on the architectural side, and then you can please the husband on the function side. Sometimes it's flipped, but most of the time it's not. That's usually the way that it goes. Then you really get a great combination for a great project and a great build.
Yeah. And I know that you're in the deck building business for the most part, but really it's in the people business. You love
It
people.
is.
You love helping them, and you're also in the problem solving business, because if they come to you with a project, it's kind of a puzzle to begin with. For you, it's easier to put the pieces together, but they've seen some pictures online and they say, Loren, we want that. And you're like, we could probably do something like that, but you understand that you're not on a hill. And this deck was built on a hill, but we can do something similar and you're going to love it. And so you get to solve it's not a big problem. It's a fun problem. It's kind of a puzzle. And at the end of the day, when you're done, you get to stand back and take a picture of happy people on their deck.
Oh, absolutely, Jim. You know, when I sell a deck, it's really only a good sell if it's a win-win. And a win is it's a win for me and it's a win for my customer. And for it to be a win for both of us, that project has to meet at the intersection of architecture, design function, and cost. If you can't meet at that intersection, it's a three-way intersection. They've all got to come together. And if you can't get in the right budget, the right design to fit the function, and the right design for the architecture, then it's not a win-win. And I really go for win-wins. And sometimes I just have to tell my customers, hey, I'm sorry, but you're probably not a fit for our company because either your house isn't architecturally suitable for a deck. I've seen that before. Your landscaping isn't architecturally suitable for a deck, or your budget,
Mm, yeah.
or I just can't fix your function problem. And that has been a problem too.
Loren, this has been fantastic. By the way, everybody, all of Loren's information is located in the show notes. Easy way to reach him is a click away. Like I said, in the description of this podcast, all of Loren's information. Loren, as always, thank you so much for joining me today on the program. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Jim.